I started off with a couple of shrubs. These were some things that I was seeing going on trucks that I noticed we have a lot of. Also things that I had questions for this week, so I figured I would just show everybody while I have everyone together. The Ligustrum Eolium, you could row around these. They're super consistent. The foliage is fantastic. They're nice and flushed. If you are looking for a good consistent shrub, you can see on the right in a landscape setting, they're going to form sort of like a barrier or a fence. That's pretty much all I have to say about this one. It just, they're so consistent. If you go out there, it's just one giant blanket of ligustrum. Vitex Blue Puffball. These sort of have a buddleia feel to them. They're real nice, small. It's a dwarf tree. They're real cute in the pots right now. Nice little meatball tops to them. No flowers on these yet, but they're nice and full in the can. Also another very consistent crop, and 582 of these still available. And I'm going to talk for a minute about the trim cycles on the knockouts. An email went out earlier this week about what we're doing with the roses and the hydrangeas. We have 3 trim cycles going on the roses right now and 2 in the hydrangeas. This is a picture of what is going to go out starting Monday. We are going to stop shipping the full bloom and bud. These do have buds on them. They still have some old blooms on them, but they are nice full in the can. They're not super tall, so they're not going to flop on their travels to their new homes. This is happening in the 2 and 3 gallons. So here I just took a picture of a 2 gallon. I can't tell whether that's a 2 gallon or 3 gallon, but this is happening in both 2 and 3. So this is it's the same. But this is what your customers are going to be getting starting Monday. We are like I said, the other ones are going to bloom out. They're floppy. Everything that went on the truck this past week was in full bloom, so you don't have to worry about anything that they're going to get looking like this. But by Monday, with a little bit of heat over the weekend and then more heat next week, these are going to be real nice and full for your customers. And we still have 18,991 of the 3 gallons available. And next picture, please. Similar to the knockout roses, the hydrangeas are also in a trim cycle. The 3 gallons I left on, we are pulling them. They're nice. They're enormous, big plants, but they're not floppy. They have bud and bloom on them. But once we pull through that location, and I'll let you know when it happens because they're going to go into landscape grade until we get bud and bloom. They're going from large floppy plants to trimmed back plants. They'll be in landscape grade. We talked a little bit last week about how the endless summer varieties, once they end up in full bloom, they do flop. So we try to make sure that we have a rotation in the crop so that you're constantly getting something consistent. So this is where the cycle is going to start. After this, we'll be able to rotate between 3 different crops.
But we've got, I mean, Summer Crush is just awesome out there right now. And I know that Bill sent a picture of them yesterday.
The only one that's going to go in landscape grade right now is the 2 gallon Endless Summers. The Summer Crush are just absolutely fantastic. So if you have any questions about what's going on with the roses and the hydrangeas, please ask so I can get you the best information. But for now, this is the most up-to-date stuff that I have for you. The hydrangeas, I mean, you still have all of the Let's Dance. Yeah. We're moving around the locations for the rock and rolls. What was the other one we talked about last week?
Azure Skies.
The Azure Skies. So there's still a lot of variety out there that is ready to go. And I'm putting more into the landscape grade folder. So if I see something that doesn't look like it's retail ready and it's in landscape and you're questioning why, it's because there's some kind of issue on the plant, whether it be like burnt leaves, it was trimmed. So make sure that you take a look at those pictures. And again, if you have questions about them, please ask. And like I said, if you have more questions about any of those, definitely let me know. The next picture is the Gaillardia Yellow Touch. These do have a yellow fringe around the outside of the flower. Matt took some pictures for me yesterday of these. They're can full, they're full of flowers, they're absolutely gorgeous. And as you can see, the whole house looks exactly the same. So there are 236 of these on orders. I don't see these coming off anytime soon because they still have so many buds that do need to open. But there are also 397 of them still available. So these are, if you're looking for some kind of flower, these are still absolutely fantastic. I love them. And last picture, I know a lot of the echinacea are coming off. We're combating that. We're working on getting them back on. But one that is still available, I have never heard of this variety. I don't think we had them last year, but this is the double scoop bubblegum. The flower is not fully open, but that is what the flower looks like in the CBG right now. So if you're looking for something that's going to have flowers, now is the time to get these out. Because if we let them go too long, they get too high, then they have to come off. So the picture on the bottom shows they do have a the double puff ball in the middle, and then they have low reaching flowers, or petals. But the color is great. It's a little bit different than the Purpurea Magnus, but it's comparable to that. They are not floppy yet. They are good to go, right?
First up is the A-Series Mikiyama. I walked through all the jet maples earlier this week, and the Tammys were the only variety that were well rooted and making size for what the spec is. So we have 10 gallon and 7 gallon. Top picture is the 10 gallon, the one below it is the 7s. As you can see, the 7s are a little bit taller, a little bit thinner of a body, still meeting spec, so we're good there. So if you guys need jet maples, that's going to be your go-to. And then as we were driving around yesterday, this Crater Vesuvius 7 gallon, I know we took them off earlier this year. They flushed out after getting trimmed, and these things look really good. The whole block is phenomenal. And if you need something as a red leaf, I know it says that you can substitute these for a beech tree if you're in a warmer area. So something a little bit different on the spectrum as far as a substitution, but it is a good option. And then finally, the hydrangea vanilla strawberry. I know you guys have been on me all last year about more pink hydrangeas, and I put the whole crop of 7 gallons on current earlier this week. This is what they look like. These things are gorgeous. They are not budded out yet, so keep that in mind as you are looking to ship these things out.